Hello, I come to you today with something juicy. The future of law. Now, this was a download I received, and I'm telling you, it is juicy, okay? Now, I'm going to speak on one thing specifically, but I'm going to tap in on the significant things that are already occurring that are setting the ball in motion for this new law. I haven't got the specific dates of when this is coming in, but the fact that I'm running the transmission on this now says this is happening sooner rather than later, and I'm shocked by the revelation of what I've received, okay? So I speak a lot about extraterritoriality, which really refers to, I want to say the higher ups, but I want to say organizations that are related more so to the world. We're talking about the United Nations, we're talking about World Bank, we're talking about any high level ranking group that has a role in world order. Now, I'm not talking about secret society and conspiracy world order or new world order. I'm talking about the what can we call them? Government franchises? Can we call them infinity structures? I mean, I don't want to lose the world too early on in this transmission. I haven't even told you the T yet. But let's say these kind of organizations that are working with the United Nations, or are the actual United Nations, but working globally, right? The global collective here. We want to talk about that because what I've been told is that every country that has their own laws and their own belief systems will be moving onto a new law and order whereby what happens in the country that you were born in, whatever your citizenship is, that will be the law you abide by regardless of where you travel to around the world. Let me say that again. This is happening. This is truth. This is prophecy. This is prediction. But this, more importantly, is the future of the world. Earth. There are many Earths. We can call this Earth 0.1. There are many others. But this Earth specifically, in the coming years, will move to a new world law. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous, doesn't it? Hit the like if you think, what the hell, are you sure, baby? Yes, darling, I'm sure, darling. I only speak on what I'm sure of, darling. Don't worry, darling. Right, let's stay focused. We already have facial recognition now happening at airports, and that is going to be introduced nationally, internationally over time. We already have that through the phones. We've already given our face recognition to Apple, to any other phone services that do that. We've also all done it through our Instagram because of the simple fact that everyone's following that AI trend. So everyone's got your data and your facial rec already on system. Yeah? Oh my God. Let me pin this here as well and let you know that I have repeated inferences given to me about Horizon. I spoke a little bit about Meta and Horizon and Snowden and the development of all of that. So please be aware that in the next few days, I will be dropping a Horizon prediction. Something big is happening with Horizon, and it isn't just the Horizon associated with Meta. It's about an elitist culture and a very specific high-ranking group across the world that are using the term Horizon that is actually linked to Meta. Sorry, Mark. I'm so sorry. Any secret society out there that's like, oh my God, she's infringing on our truth. Oh my God, she's outing us. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But this is for the betterment of humanity. So put your dick back in your pants, put your ego aside, and own the fact that the world deserves to know the truth, right? We've got a lot of things to talk about. So we're going to go over to Horizon. That's going to be a really deep piece. It's going to be a little bit more conspiracy theorist. So I'm going to hold off on that and keep this nice and clean. Because over here on this transmission about the future of law, there ain't no conspiracy touching it. It's a simple fact. We are moving straight into an era where everyone will have their citizenship and their specific ID. And whatever the laws are laid out that you have been inherently born into. So if you are British and you are a British citizen, the law, your British citizenship will follow you around the world. So when you go to America, when you go to Qatar, yeah, talking about the World Cup and all the things that happen there, when you go to anywhere, Indonesia, Africa, Asia, anywhere in Europe, you are still going to be bound to your law, the law in line with your citizenship. There will be a specific ID card that you have that is evidently aligned to your law. And your rights will follow you everywhere you go based on your citizenship. Loads more people will be applying for citizenship in different states so they can abide by those specific laws of the state. This is decentralization at its finest. If you are intrigued by this, go and look at all the decentralization content I've got out and all the predictions. I've got a prediction playlist because I talk about so much different stuff. Last year, 2022, I went hard on decentralization. Spoke about it from a digital standpoint. I spoke a lot about digitalization, but I want to focus on the decentralization of the world, which I've been really pushing forward with all of 2022, because there is a major shift happening in the world. This is a big deal because no one saw COVID coming. No one saw the pandemic coming, even though it was a plan. The pandemic has been spoken about, but we're staying away from conspiracy today on this transmission, because once again, everything I'm saying here is factual. Promise you, you're going to come back here and think, fucking hell, didn't the Hermitology say that a while back? Yeah? So we're going to keep it clean, minus all the swear words you've already heard. Hit the like if you're okay with that. But we're going to keep moving forward, because the reason this is significant is because in certain countries, you can sleep with 13-year-olds. Yeah? In certain countries, you can marry an 8-year-old. So for me, I'm trying to understand exactly what is going to happen, like legalities of sex and being gay and all of those different things that are illegal in different countries. Being a witch, yeah, illegal in different countries, that's going to be abolished. So in one of my last transmissions, I was really having a rant about witchcraft and how I would be deemed a witch in Africa. And actually, if I had children that were on the spectrum, and children on the spectrum in Africa are deemed as witches, and they would be treated really badly, beaten, burned, abused, limbs chopped off if they are albino. What's going to happen specifically is, in time, I'll be able to travel around Africa and own the fact that I am clairvoyant and I do have these gifts and abilities, and I'll just whip out my ID, my extraterrestriality card, and be safe, because actually the governing bodies of Africa, for example, will have no other option but to abide by my extraterrestriality card, which is basically like citizenship. Yeah, it will allow me to travel around the world and still be able to do what I do. Imagine that in regards to marijuana, because in America, in certain states, in Amsterdam, you're allowed to smoke marijuana. So I also believe that people will be able to it sounds crazy, right? But it's true. This is true. I'm 100% this is true, right? Americans can come over here with a marijuana because they've got citizenship. They've got their extraterrestriality approval. So when you're getting on a plane now, if you're coming from Amsterdam or wherever, you can carry weed with you. So that's going to create issues within itself, because if the weed that you've brought over is then given to someone else and trafficking and all of that stuff, that's also going to be an issue. And then obviously certain countries are going to be like somewhat turning into like South Korea, because if you go to certain countries in certain places, you're going to go there for specific reasons because you can get away with stuff. And you can do certain stuff in different countries where you wouldn't be able to do it in this country. So, for example, weed, marijuana, in regards to, you see how we've got sex trafficking and human trafficking now around the world undercover, and it's happening more and more, and it's slipping up into pockets of Wayfair and Balenciaga and all of that kind of stuff. Understand the simple fact of, okay, this is a problem. We're cracking down more and more on this. The Hermitologist is going to be exposing more and more of you dirty, seeded motherfuckers out there that think you're going to get away with mistreating children or doing anything sinful or illegal. So what's going to happen is when we crack down on sex trafficking, human trafficking, and that can't happen anymore because we've found all the gaps in the holes where you are doing this dirtiness, we're just going to have countries that are known for sex trafficking. You want a bit of sex trafficking? Fly over there. You want a bit of this? Fly over there. You want to marry a minor? Go over there. That's what's going to happen. Certain bits of the world you're not going to see people go to anymore because it's going to be for the seedy and the dirty. And you're like, that, you know, it's like, oh, you're going to Vegas. Oh, you're going to Amsterdam. We know why you're going there. So imagine that. Oh, you're going there. Oh, that's where all the maps live. Oh, you're going there. That's where all the sex traffickers hang around because the laws in those countries allow it. Yeah, so there's a thin line because people are not going to be able to openly sex traffic and have people, prisoners, just walking around on lead saying, yep, that's my sex person. Obviously, that's not going to be allowed. But there are leeways and allowances that are going to occur in certain countries. If someone does take marijuana and they're saying it's medicinal, they're going to carry that in their pocket on the aircraft, easy. And then they're going to get off and then go about their day. Like, this is the shift that's happening in the world. And guys, if you are shocked by this, just think that COVID happened. Just think that the government locked us away for 2 years in isolation. Yeah? Just think about all the amount of people that died. Were you expecting that? Was anyone expecting COVID in 2020, 2019? No, it wasn't. So just be grateful that I'm giving you the heads up in the now moment because goddamn, this is real. Yeah? So that's the main thing I wanted to speak on. I want to say, like, for me, it's a situation of you can't run from AI. You can't run from facial recognition. Snowden outed Horizon years and years ago. And now we're all screaming Meta, me included. I love Meta. I love the metaverse. I'm so excited for what's coming for the future of technology. But I am going out of my way to make sure it is safe and secure so that this dirty stuff doesn't keep happening under the radar. And what I've noticed, right, repeatedly, and this is what I'm going to do next, guys. So I'm going to leave it here and check out the next video where it's saying, what is Horizon? The horizon fractals around the world, because that's what I keep seeing. All around the world, every now and then, horizons are just popping up. They're popping up all over the place. I don't want to out anyone. I haven't done enough background to work out if this is some kind of secret society or cult or there's an underbelly to it. But I feel like there is. I feel like there's a deep underbelly to a lot of these horizon organisations. They're doing similar things, but they're unaffiliated. You're all unaffiliated, but you all got the same name that Snowden outed years ago. And you're all up to something in the industry at a high enough level, macro level, to create change and influence and all of that. So we talk about the Illuminati. I don't want to get conspiracy over here because everything I've said before this about the law and what's happening, once again, I said that's not conspiracy. But the horizon, I'm coming in with a conspiracy. So let's fly over to the conspiracy and get onto Horizon, but know that I'm telling you factual truth from my standpoint and coming from Hermitology and the Hermitologist, that there will be this new law that is going to be really infringing on extraterritoriality and the activities of the world in relation to the unique individual and their citizenship and the laws that they follow when they travel. The world order, like the higher ups, they know this. Because we've watched the effect of the World Cup and we saw how many people said, I'm not going to engage in the World Cup this year. And I don't want to, we want to pull out of all the sponsors and deals from Qatar. That was a lot of money. That was a big deal. You think the higher ups are not studying that, going, right, what are we going to do? Because people are not going to want to travel to these certain places around the world. They can't be who they are. They can't show up. They can't be gay because they're going to be infringed on and put in prison. They can't have sex. They can't do this. They can't drink alcohol. So what's going to happen? You're going to be allowed to follow the rules of your state. Your citizenship will no longer just be the place that you reside. It will be the laws and legislation that you abide by in every pocket of the world. Across space and time, you will be aligned to the citizenship of your birth. That is what I'm saying will be coming in. I can't tell you the dates and times. The government will feed that to you little bit by bit. And I'll be making sure I keep adding the intel and the inferences that come from the media to the watch list that you'll see. I also throw movies in there, trailers in there, the stuff that I'm watching at this time that really give you a clear overview of how the world is just feeding us what we need to know and how we actually use what the world is feeding us to create the ecology and the ecological background of the situation to find the true core truth. Yeah? Love and Light Collective, this is me leaving you. Follow me over to the Horizon piece, because that's going to be a big conspiracy piece. Right now I'm saying conspiracy because I haven't done enough background. And I've got to say that because I don't want to disrespect Mark. He's got enough shit on his plate. I don't need to offend anyone in the industry, and I don't want to offend anyone who is part of that Horizon Collective, because you're clearly way too powerful than I am. But, I mean, come on, guys. Let's all work together here, and let's all be honest about what's happening underneath. Yeah, because I see what you're doing, I see what you're building, and I see what's coming in the next few years, and I'm making sure I'm exactly where I need to be. Love ya. Follow, subscribe, like, go to my website, check out all my content, a lot of stuff out there. If you want to share, if you want to give your opinion, you want to co-create, you want to talk about your views, your conspiracies, you got poetry, you got art, you got things you want to promote, go and check out my publications, go and check out that I've got comics, I've got different stuff about things going on around the world, I've got philosophy. If you want to share, if you want to co-create, if you want to give your opinion, if you just want to get a message out to someone that you love and get it done in a nice way, get at me, right? All of this is somewhat of a free co-creating service, to provided that you're not asking for too much, you know. But we make it work for everyone. It's all about energy over here. We're exchanging an energy, we're sharing with the wider world, and we're doing what we can to provide a more accurate perspective of the world at large. Yeah, we're not living in a lie, we're living in truth, and we're observing and watching what's really going on at this time. Love and Light Collective.